Hi, I'm Teresa Senecola with the International Christian Mompreneur Network, and I'm here today to do a video book review on a book written by a friend of mine, Whitney Freya, and it is called The Artist Within, A Guide to Becoming Creatively Fit. And actually, her name was Whitney Freya when she published the book, but she has since changed it to Whitney Freya, and different name, but just the same beautiful soul that wrote this book. So I love this book. It has been several years since I first read it, but it's one of those books that I keep going back to whenever I feel like I need a little refresher in my creative fitness. So it's a book that I share with a lot of women that I work with personally and just friends of mine. And so I really wanted to share it with you today because it's a creativity book, and it's actually more of a workbook. It's not something that you just sit down and read cover to cover, and it is more of a do book. You're going to sit down and do the exercises as you read through each chapter, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And she takes these 8 principles in design and helps you to apply them to your life. So things like balance or proportion or unity, harmony, repetition. And she helps you kind of discover through your artwork or through the creation of artwork how those things are showing up in your own life. And when I first read the book, I was just blown away because it was a whole new way for me of looking at art, because I don't consider myself an artist. And here, I'll show you something. This is one of the projects that I worked on in Whitney's program, or one of Whitney's programs, either through the book or program. And you can see, let's see if I can hold it right. It's just a doodle. It's not exactly artwork. And everything in here looks like that. I mean, it's just very amateur art. But it isn't about the final product. And that's what I love about Whitney's book and her programs and everything that she teaches, is that it is more about the journey, the process of going through it, and what happens to you when you are, activating that part of your brain. And there's a whole science that, she goes into, and you can learn that from her. But for me, creating artwork Whitney's way means I'm going to be a little bit less stressed, which means I'm going to be a better mom and more fun to be around. And I wrote a whole blog post about that. I'll share a link with you to that blog post if you want to read it. But really, creating artwork for me is a little bit of a stress reliever, and there's, like I said, the scientific data to prove that it does help in that regard. So it's a wonderful, wonderful tool for any mom. But if you are a business owner, a mom entrepreneur, then you probably have some sort of creative streak in you anyway. It's probably what drove you to do what you do. Maybe your creative outlet is crafts with your children. Maybe it's cooking or gardening or, photography, whatever it is. This book is going to help you exercise those creative muscles. That's why she calls it a guide to becoming creatively fit. But the other thing I love about the book is that it speaks to one of my weaknesses, which is perfection. And it helps me to understand that letting go of perfection is such a beautiful gift you can give yourself. So in working through this book and learning from Whitney, I have been able to, I'm not going to lie, I'm still a recovering perfectionist, but I've been able to realize that it doesn't have to be perfect. So the more I doodle or draw or sketch or go through any of these exercises, I realize that I get so much from doing it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And she has this program where you paint over the same canvas. It's a creatively fit marathon, and you paint over the same canvas 26 paintings. And I love it because I never really liked the final product of any one of those paintings. So I was more than happy to paint over them. And I had so much fun realizing that, it didn't really matter what the final product was. And so that's a huge lesson for me. And I got that lesson in reading this book. And the third lesson that I took away from this book is just a reinforcement of the value of habits. So for me, exercise is a habit that I have formed a long time ago, and I kind of have that one figured out, and I don't struggle to put exercise into my daily routine. Um, you know, uh, Business, I have a habit of certain things that I do. My writing, my business time, I'm okay there. My spiritual growth, I struggle with forming habits there. Sometimes I'm real good. I'm doing a Bible study, and then I just let it go. And so there are areas in my life that I need to be more committed to in terms of developing a habit. And creativity is one of those areas. So for me to have a structure in place where I can exercise my creativity through imperfection on a regular basis is really important to me. And so I think Whitney shares that in the book. So highly encourage you to pick up a copy. I'll give you a link to her website. And, I even went through Whitney's Creatively Fit Certified Coaches program. So I have quite a bit of experience working in all of her programs, and just can't recommend it enough in terms of your ability to exercise your creative muscle and let go of perfection and just be overall more joyful and peaceful. So excellent book. I hope you'll take a look, and thanks for joining me today. This again is Teresa Senicola with the International Christian Mompreneur Network. Thanks so much.